Hey guys, it's Sunday. I've got a coffee. It is decaf right enough, but I do have a coffee. And what I want to do in this video is talk about Rhett Creighton. Creighton? I don't know if I'm pronouncing the name right, but you guys will probably know he's one of the founders of Bitcoin Private. He's known for Zed Classic. He's known for Whalecoin. But the main one he's known for right now is Bitcoin Private. Now, you guys know I own Bitcoin Private coins. I mined to the Zed Classic donation fund before the fork. I bought some Zed Classic, and afterwards I've bought some Bitcoin Private. Not many, but I've bought a few Bitcoin Private coins. Now, the price of Bitcoin Private right now, I'm not even going to say it's bad. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. My guess was that this was going to be minimum $100. I got it wrong. We are in a bear market just now, but I think it has performed much worse than what we thought. Now, this isn't something I'm concerned about because, you know, I'm holding these coins for long term. So it's not something I'm concerned about. And the team continue to implement new features and, you know, follow the roadmap. And I think we will see it rise when it hits the big exchanges. But there has been negativity about Bitcoin Private. And a lot of that negativity has been surrounding Rhett Creighton. And he's got this reputation as a scammer by some people. Some people say he's a scammer. Some people call him a pump and dumper. That's what I want to talk about in this video. I want to talk about whether that's true, look at the facts, and yeah, discuss whether that's the case or not. Before I go on though, asterisks, little disclaimer here. I've got nothing against this guy. This isn't a personal attack. I just want to stress that I've watched some videos of this guy, and you know, if I met him at a conference, I'm sure we got on with him. He looks like a really nice guy, so this isn't a personal attack. And also, regardless of the Bitcoin Private coins going down, as I said, I believe this is a coin that's going to do well. I think long term, the team are going to do well. And whilst he has a reputation of dropping coins at projects that he started before, there's nothing to indicate that's going to happen with Bitcoin Private. So I'm not worried. I really am not worried. But I think it's interesting because I did see a lot of negativity about all of it. So with the asterisk disclaimer out the way, let's proceed. In fact, let's get a little decaf coffee in me. So I'll jump back to my browser. So the kind of things that you see about him online, I've got a few, you can see I've got all the tabs set up here just so that I don't have to start searching stuff during the video. But this is the kind of things that you see whenever you search for his name. You see this all the time. Do some research on Rhett Creighton. I hope that's the right one. He's a serial pump and dumper. This is the third coin he's doing this on. Zed Classic, Zencash. That's not actually correct. He wasn't involved in that. And then Bitcoin Private. Always do Dior. I assume that means do your research. And then you see it here as well. I searched for the name here so you can see it. This part. To those who are losing money here, are you really surprised? And this is in Zed Classic. Rhett Creighton has a history of taking part in such activities, and anyone who took the time to investigate his past knows that he is smart enough to pull this trick again. Okay, so what is all of this about? What's it all about? Well, the first project he was involved in, Zed Classic. This is Zed Classic. And financial freedom. This is the coin that Bitcoin Private, this coin, was forked from. And you can see Zed Classic, Bitcoin. This is what it was forked from. And this is the website Zed Classic. And this is the Wikipedia of Zed Classic, which gives you a very quick summary of what happened. Zed Classic was a fork of Zcash, which is this. So Zcash was launched, and it had a note, a setting, sorry, that 20% of the coins for the first 4 years are allocated to the founders reward, shared between investors, developers, and the non-profit foundation. Almost instantly, Rhett Creighton, this guy, founded Zed Classic, and it says here it was 8 days after Zcash's own release. Now, the only difference between Zcash and Zed Classic waived the 20% miners fee for its founders. That's it. I actually saw a funny comment on Twitter about this. I saw a funny comment and someone said Rhett didn't write any lines of code for Zed Classic. In fact, he wrote negative lines of code because all he did was take Zcash and remove the part that says 20% goes to the founders fee. Now, some people agreed with that, some people didn't. Some people thought it was quite unethical. It was, you know, it was a bit of a scummy thing to do. At the end of the day, it's open source. He can do that. But a lot of people agreed with that because 20% seems like a lot. You know, 20% for the first 4 years going to the founders is a lot of money. And he didn't agree with it. 8 days later, he founded Zed Classic. And you can see it there, Zed Classic founder, Rhett Creighton at the Bitcoin private conference to February 2018. So, yeah, that's essentially where he came into the industry as far as making a name for himself. He was the founder of Zed Classic. And again, it was basically Zed Cash minus the founder reward. But Zed Classic is no more. Zed Classic, you can see here, Zed Classic led to Bitcoin private, and the future of Zed Classic, basically they're not going to update it anymore. We have no intention of handing the project over to a new team without significant experience, but basically they're going to switch off the nodes and the wallet servers and all this. It's going to be dead. And a lot of people keep asking this on my videos, what's going to happen with Zed Classic? Unless someone takes over that project, takes over the team and the development of it, nothing's going to happen. It's going to die. But this is where he's, you know, got this is one reason why he's got a negative a negative kind of reputation about all this. He founded Zed Classic and then he basically just dropped it. Now, you could look at that it was a scam, then he pumped and dumped it, but I never ever viewed it that way. I always viewed it in that he rushed in. You know, this is how I'm looking at the facts now, but I looked at that, you know, Zcash came out, yeah, that's a privacy coin, it's got a lot of great features, but 20%, that's too much. And he's went, right, okay, myself and a lot of others don't agree with that. Founded Zed Classic, and this coin doesn't have the 20% founders fee. Now, in hindsight, I believe that was a mistake because he didn't think about the long-term considerations of needing money to develop the coin. So the coin, you know, at the end of the day, founders need something. People need to live, people need to pay bills, electricity, mortgage, whatever, cars, transportation, food. They need money. And you can't expect a lot of intelligent people that can be making a lot of money in business to work for nothing for a coin. And Zed Classic had no founders fee. There was no way for the founders to make money. So I think they rushed in. That's the way I look at it. He kind of rushed in with it. In hindsight, I think what he should have done was a 1% fee for 4 years or something like that. 20% I do agree was too high, but removing it altogether with no thought and no kind of research into it. I mean, he should have spent weeks or months thinking, okay, how could we fund this? How could we fund this? And how can we make sure we support the developers, support the development of the project without ripping people off? But 8 days seems a little bit rushed to me. Like they just wanted to get a coin out, find the domain name, get the website up and, you know, get it going. But that's assuming that that wasn't his intention. He just didn't believe in the miners fee, the founders fee, sorry. But if you look on his Twitter account, you can see he's the creator of Zed Classic, Bitcoin Private, and Whalecoin. Whalecoin is another coin that a lot of people aren't talking about. Whalecoin.org is listed there, and interestingly, Whalecoin is the only one he's actually linked to a website on his Twitter account. Now, you might not have known that he is the founder of Whalecoin because he never talks about it. It's, you know, the last tweet that he sent about it, he retweeted something in December, like, you know, 3-4 months ago. But he doesn't really talk about it anymore. This is another project he's dropped. This is the thing. So Zed Classic, if you look at the dates here, Ledger started November 2016. So you've got November 2016, but fast forward to August 2017, and he starts Whalecoin. So basically within about, what's that, 8 months? Or longer than that, 10 months. So within about 10 months, he dropped Zed Classic, or even before that, you know. He just wasn't interested in Zed Classic, and he's like, okay, let's start another project. Now, you could argue, okay, he's doing both of them at the same time, but I think most of the guys that are behind the project are focused on one thing, and the fact that he was starting another project so soon doesn't paint a very good picture. Whalecoin, you can see it was on an exchange there, and it's not very high, 7 cents. It's kind of just stayed at the same price for a long time. So this is the website of Whalecoin. Nice website and all that. Chat and Discord, but when you click on it, well, it just goes to the Discord app. There isn't actually a Discord group being linked there. You've got the white paper and all that there. Now, if I go down here, so you scroll down and it's got you know, the roadmap, pre 200,000 blog, Genesis blog, post launch, launch social network, post launch spring 2018. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know if this is still being developed. I don't know what's going on in the background, but all the signs point to this being dropped as well. All the signs point to this being dropped. If you look at their Twitter account, you know, it's got a couple of things there in January, but it also retweets a lot of things from other people. So, you know, Wellcoin retweeted that there. But the other thing as well, I also found strange that the other guys involved in the team, like, here's the team, Parth, I don't know, I'm not even going to pronounce that name, Parth here. And if you look at his Twitter account, basically doesn't really post that much on Twitter, and he's just spending a lot of time retweeting what Rhett says. There's nothing about Wellcoin. That's a bit strange. One of the main guys of the team is not talking about Wellcoin. Rhett isn't talking about Wellcoin, it hasn't for months. And then we've got Amber. Okay, she's not talking about Wellcoin either, and this is the kind of strange thing about it. So, okay, there's a retweet there from January. So this is the thing, guys. You know, oh, in fact, is that launching to the Discord group? No, it isn't. I thought just in case that link did go there. So yes, I don't know what's going on in the background with Wellcoin, but let's look at the facts here. No one's talking about it on Twitter. You know, none of those three people are talking about it actively on Twitter. I think his focus is on Bitcoin private now, which is good for me. I've got Bitcoin private coins, but it does look like he started Z Classic in a rush and then dropped it, and then he started Wellcoin and then dropped it, and then he started Bitcoin private. You know, taking over, forking from Z Classic. Now Bitcoin private's got a big team and all that, so I don't think he's going to drop that. It's, you know, there's too many people involved, and you know, maybe this is his baby, and you could look at it that, well, he was trying to get it right and he messed up. But there's one thing that I did notice, it kind of goes against that thinking. If you look at the Wellcoin announcement, right, and I mean, I don't want to talk about this coin too much as far as explaining what it's all about and all this. It's got like follows and all this kind of different system. But one of the things I did notice was, if you go down, this is on Bitcoin Talk, you know, this is the plan, and look at this. Block 1 to 200,000, miners get 67%, the development fund 33%, founders free. Founders, so the developers get 33%. That's for the first 200,000 blocks. After that, they still get 33%, and the miners percentage goes down, and then followers get 33%. That's like their follower system thing that they've got. Now, I think one of the first comments sums it up. That's one hell of a dev fee. Now, this is the one thing that kind of caught my attention. He founded Z Classic because Zcash had a 20% founders fee for the first 4 years. He launched Z Classic, 0% developer fee. That didn't work out. He kind of dropped the project and he's launched Wellcoin with a 33% developers fee. That is a lot higher than 20%. So yes, that surprised me. I mean, I knew that it dropped both of those projects, but I didn't know about the developers fee of Wellcoin. I must admit, I don't know all the facts as far as, you know, but looking at what's online, looking at the project, looking at what that developer fee is, that doesn't paint a very good picture of Rhett and what he's done in the past. Because if you assume that he was doing the right thing with Z Classic, you know, okay, this isn't good for everyone, there shouldn't be a 20% founders fee, a 20% fee that goes to the developers and all that, fine. That is, you know, his approach. Okay, if, you know, if he came back and went, okay, right, okay, I realise I made a mistake, we need a 1% fee or a 2% fee, but then launching a coin that's got 33% for founders for the development fund, really, it goes against the picture he was trying to paint of himself before with Z Classic. So, again, this wasn't, I didn't want this video to be a personal attack, you know, but there's, as I said, there's a lot of people out there calling him a serial pump and dumper. You'll find lots of these kind of comments out there, you know, that he's smart enough and he's pulling his tricks again. So Z Classic, Wellcoin, has it hurt Bitcoin private? I would think it has. I think it has, because you know, when I was mining to the donation fund and just talking about Bitcoin Private and talking about Z Classic, I got a lot of comments. Some of them just trolling, but a lot of them were saying, listen, this is a scam, he's pulling the trick again, he's doing it again, he's a pump and dumper, he's creating a project, making a lot of money and then dumping it. Now at this point, I don't know what he's going to do in the future with Bitcoin Private, but as I said, I'm confident that it's going to do well. There's a big team surrounding it. It's not like there's just a few people there. But I think if you look at his track record, I don't think he's did his reputation any favours. I think that his actions have spoke louder than what he said at conferences. You know, you can say, I don't believe in this, I don't believe in that. But then if you launch a coin, if you say you've got a strong stance against the, you know, high developers fees, and then you launch a coin that's got very high developers fees, it doesn't paint a very good picture of you. So again, I mean, the guy comes across as a nice guy, but as far as him being a serial pump and dumper, it's maybe a little bit of a strong way to look at it. Maybe a little bit harsh. But I also think there is a foundation for what people are saying. There is a reason why people have been calling him this, that's saying that he's been scamming people. You know, if you get behind a coin and someone's promising you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to do this, you're like, yeah, look at the roadmap, it's going to be great. And then he just abandons the project. No, I'm going to do this one. Look at this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. You look at, okay, great, get behind it. And then he abandons it. At one point you start going, right, okay, I'm not falling for that again. And I think that's why a lot of people have, well, don't think highly of him. So that's the facts, guys. You know, to summarize, has he hurt Bitcoin Private? I think he has, at least in the short term. In the long term, you know, I don't think it will do any harm long term, medium to long term. But in the short term, for it getting started, maybe for the price just now, I mean, I saw with the Bitcoin Private price just now, I saw a lot of people saying this, you fell for Rhett's trick again, it's a scam and all this kind of thing. I don't think the price is going down right now because of Rhett. I think the price is going down right now because Bitcoin Private is only available on pretty poor exchanges. When it hits the big exchanges, it'll be better. When they release support for Ledger and Trezor, all these other wallets, it'll do better. When all these other features like the Lightning Network is supported and all that, all these things will help the price going up. I don't think Rhett is directly responsible for the current price, but I do think it's hurt the reputation of Bitcoin Private before the fork and perhaps a little bit afterwards. And this is the thing, you know, you have to remember though, a lot of people that are starting these projects, they're learning. I mean, if you look at any businessman, if you look at any businessman that's made a lot of money, they've probably got a series of failed businesses behind them. So you could look at the fact that he made some mistakes with Z Classic and he made some mistakes with Whalecoin. But there's obviously people that, you know, maybe lost money through those projects and they're hurt by it. And a bad reputation can follow you. And actions do speak louder than words. So I don't know. I think it has hurt Bitcoin Private in the short term, but long term, I don't think it will matter. But yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys think about this. I wasn't following Z Classic at the start of its journey, you know, like a year and a half ago. But, you know, if he then dumped Bitcoin Private and then started another coin, I guess people would be skeptical, you know, and they would think, okay, he is a serial pump and dumper. But I think it does kind of highlight how important reputation is and how much a bad reputation can hurt a coin just by association. If someone is involved, we saw it with McAfee. McAfee promotes a coin, a lot of people say, ah, it's a scam and all that, you know, despite the fact a coin could be good or it could be bad. You know, a bad reputation can really hurt you. So I'd love to hear what you guys think about this. And again, I wasn't trying to attack this guy per se, but every day I get people saying this on my comments. You know, he's a scammer. You know, you believed into the hype and all this. So I thought I would look into it. I thought I would address it. Over to you guys. Over to you. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. So please do leave a comment. Let me know what you think about all of this. And I'll finish my coffee, which is probably quite cold by now. Cheers, guys.